Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Saturday Coffee Break. You know, I've talked a lot about lumbar stability and how I think it's very important to power development and overall back health. But one thing I wanted to mention about lumbar stability is that we don't want to focus on it too much. Okay? There is an extreme where we need to back off and also understand that the spine is meant to move. It doesn't have to be rigid all the time. So I have a skeleton here, and what I mean by that is we talk about lumbar stability and we perform a hip hinge where we're keeping our back straight, nice good structure through here to prevent the risk of injury. But you can also see on this skeleton that you're supposed to have individual segments move. So while I think it's important that you have lumbar stability, especially for sports, for lifting, for any of your daily activities, I also think it's important to pay attention to certain exercises that focus on that intersegmental movement so that we don't lose it. One of the ways we can do it, it's very simple, is if we're sitting in a chair. Let me tilt this down so you can see. If we're sitting in a chair, you might want to have good posture throughout the day. In addition to standing up and getting and moving around, I also want you to think about slowly rounding your back and then coming through and extending as well. Sometimes we refer to this as slouching and overcorrecting, making sure that we think about moving every single spinal segment and then coming up and back into extension. So remember, lumbar stability is very important, but I think it's also important not to forget that the spine is meant to move at every individual section, and sometimes we need to incorporate that maybe into a mobility drill before or after our training session, or even throughout your day. So have a great weekend. I hope everything's going well with all of you, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Saturday Coffee Break.